Hello friends, Jai Shri Ram. Thanks for your overwhelming response for my short about use of chopsticks. This is a detailed video about the same. So how to use chopsticks, what are the types of chopsticks, what are the etiquette, I'll explain everything in this video. This can be a 5 minutes video. Okay, so first things first, where do you use chopsticks? So normally throughout Southeast Asia, instead of spoon and fork, people usually use chopsticks and soup spoon. Okay, so soup spoon, you know how to use it, but chopsticks I'm going to teach you today. Now, what are the types of chopsticks? Now in Japan, China and Korea, there are different types of chopsticks. Like the Chinese chopsticks are usually longer than the other two, and the Japanese chopsticks are very pointed, so you can even pick a grain of rice with it. So those are Japanese, and Korean chopsticks are usually made up of metal. So they are the only chopsticks which are flat. Okay, so these are characteristics of all these three chopsticks. Now, will you get them in India? Of course, you can get it on Blinkit, Zomato, Swiggy, any online retail shop gives you chopsticks nowadays, but they are very costly. Like this packet of 10 chopsticks comes for around 100 rupees. So it is 10 rupees per chopstick. And of course it is wooden, so you do not use it again. Wooden chopsticks are single time use, and only metal chopsticks, the Korean ones, are multi-use. You can use them multi times. Okay, now how do you hold them? So there are various ways of doing it, but the main principle is that this chopstick, the lower one, has to stay stationary and the upper one has to move. Okay, now how will you do this? So there are various ways of doing it. The easiest way I'll tell you, you hold this one like this in these two fingers. Can you see that? And then you hold this in these three fingers. Now you don't have to hold it like a pencil like many other people say. It is very difficult now to move it, because how can you move it? So you hold it in any way in which you will be able to move it. So if I hold it like this and I'm just able to move it, that is enough. There is no need to perfect this upper grip. There's no need to perfect it. It should just be able to move the upper chopstick. Now both your chopsticks should connect. So here my finger is coming in the way, so I should hold it in such a way that maybe this finger is out of the way now, and now both of them are touching. Another thing is, both of them should touch at the same point. This is wrong. They should be in the same level. So how do you do that? Don't do it physically like this, because once they are soiled, then you won't be able to move them very easily. So this is what the Chinese people normally do. I have not seen Japanese or Koreans doing it, but at least the Chinese people do this like this. So they hold it onto the plate and automatically they align themselves. Okay, so this is how they use it. Now, there is one more thing about this thing, that if you hold them at the middle, then you're considered to be a newbie or maybe a little clumsy person. But if you hold them up above, then you're considered to be very skilled and sophisticated. So you can begin by holding them over here, but gradually you should aim at holding them at the top. Okay, now how do you use them? So always keep them like this. In the beginning, they'll also give it to you like this. If they are seal packed like this, as we get in India, then you can take them off. They'll be connected like this. So first of all, you unconnect them by pulling it from here, so automatically it breaks. After breaking, away from your food, you should just do like this once or twice. So due to this, what happens is, if it is not broken very evenly, then it won't hurt your hand. So for that, you should smoothen it out. This is what even Chinese people do, so you should be doing it too. Okay, so once this is done, how do you use them? So normally when you're not using them, keep them like this besides you, in front of you, not besides you. So don't keep them here, don't keep them here. Okay, you should be keeping them in front of you. Okay, and they should always be facing in such a way that if you're a right-hander person, then the grip should be on the right hand. Okay, so don't keep it like this and then try to hold it like this. Okay, so keep it in the way in which you can pull it up very easily. Now when you're pulling it up for the very first time, normally what people do is, they hold one side like this, and they hold the lower one like this and the upper one like this. Okay, so this is how they do it. So you do it right away. I mean, it comes very naturally after a while. Holding it like this, okay, done. It comes very naturally. Now how do you pick up stuff? So always start with the big ones, because that is the easiest. It's the easiest to hold big stuff in your chopsticks. So how do you do that? So let us say I want to pick this thing up, so I can do that. Now one thing to remember is, this is my trick, and this is what many people also follow. One of my chopsticks is below the food, so it is actually holding the food's weight. Okay, and the chopsticks weight is held by these two fingers, my last two fingers. Okay, and then over here. So this is a stable way of holding it. Do not try to hold it like this. Okay, so now you're relying on friction, and that is not a very good idea. So hold it like this by weight. Okay, put the weight on one of the chopsticks, put the other chopstick on the top so that it can balance it like this. See, I'm moving it around. So that is how. Third thing that you should remember is, many people hold it like this and then they try to eat it like this. So it's not possible, because friction cannot be so much that heavy food can be held like this. So you have to hold the heavy food in such a way that one chopstick is below and the other is at the top. Okay, so this is how you hold heavy food. Heavy food is the most difficult to be held, by the way. Now another kind of food could be, it is big but it's not very heavy. So this kind of a food, so you can hold it very easily. Again the same thing, because it is heavy, a little heavy, or it is big, I'm holding it by keeping one chopstick down. Okay, so let me show that to you. You can even hold it like this. That is also possible, because the weight is not too much, friction can hold it. So I can do this. Third kind of food is brittle kind of food. So laddu or pani puri, so it has to be held like this by the sides. You cannot hold it by the weight, so you have to hold it with friction. But still you will notice that majority of the part of the chopstick is below the food, majority of the food is above the chopstick. So this is to maintain its weight. Got the idea? So this is how you pick laddus from it. Now how do you eat something that is brittle? So let me show that to you by doing so. So while eating, you need to keep some part of it that you're going to chew above. Okay, so this is how you do it. I'm holding it way from below. Okay, and I'm going to chew it now. This is how you have to do it. So you hold it from below, keep majority part up, and then you eat the part which is up. Okay, so you hold it like this. Okay, now how to hold smaller things? So let's go smaller. This is smaller. Hold it horizontally. Always see, I'm never holding it like this, I'm always holding it horizontal. This is how natives also do. Natives in all of the Southeast Asian countries hold it like this. They never hold it like this. They never talk to you like this. Oh, this is a very good food. Don't do that. It's considered to be a little insulting if you point chopsticks at them. Just like we don't point fingers at other people's faces. Similarly, you should not be pointing chopsticks at somebody's faces. Or you should not pass on food like this, that okay, can you pass on this food? So okay, yeah, why don't you take this? This is a very bad etiquette. You cannot pass it on like this. So you normally pass it on in a dish. This is what we also do normally. They hold their dishes like this. You do not hold your dish with the chopstick. Oh, you come on, take this. No, chopsticks are only for food, and the food should just go from the bowl to your mouth, nothing else. So you hold the plate like this, pass it on. Okay, usually they work in bowls, so you just hold the bowl like this, pass it on, and hence all the bowls can be held like this. They don't use very long, very big bowls. For soups, they use bowls, so those bowls have to be held like this if you are to use the soup like this. Okay, so if you are willing to use the soup spoon to drink from that bowl, so there are two ways. Either you hold it by both the hands, your elbows should be stuck a little up, and then like this. They even worship like that. So incense sticks also, they usually keep the elbows up and they worship like this. So that's their etiquette of doing stuff in an elegant way. Never hold a bowl in one hand as we usually do In the rest of the world, or usually the Westerners usually hold everything in one hand and they keep the other hand for gestures. In China or any other Southeast Asian country, usually you hold the bowl with complete respect like this. So usually their bowls have a bottom. This one does not have, but usually their bowls do have a bottom and they use it for grip. So they hold it like this, thumb up, middle finger down. This is how they hold it, and then they eat it using soup. Or maybe if you are using chopsticks, then they'll be using chopsticks for picking up the noodles. Got it? Now, did you notice how I picked this up by one hand? This is how you should be trained to do. So hold it to the bottom, they are aligned, and now use it. Okay, so chopsticks can be used to eat noodles which are there in the soup. Sometimes they give you noodles outside and then you can pick them up, you can put them in the soup and then you can eat it. Now while eating, obviously you cannot eat all of that, so you have to slurp it, you have to do this. That is not a bad etiquette. In fact, you are encouraged to do that. In Southeast Asia, people are encouraged to eat noodles like that. In the West or in the rest of the world, usually it is considered to be a bad etiquette. How can you slurp or how can you make sound? Usually in the West, we are even told that you should not open your mouth while eating. You should keep the mouth closed so that it does not make a sound. So they treat it very differently. Now, I don't want to use those words, but they treat it very differently. But in the Southeast Asia, they are expected to slurp. So you are expected to slurp. If it is a noodle or something like that, then you should be doing. That means you are very homely. That means you belong to the culture. Okay. And finally, let me come to smaller pieces. Like for example, this one. So how will I pick it up? So first of all, you can pick up the dish like this in your hand. You can hold the smaller things. Now this is makhana. Not very small, but still it is small enough. Makhana. Now next thing is this thing. Not very small, but still small enough. Then comes a peanut. Okay, not very small, but small enough. Now you'll notice that I'm holding it with my chopsticks like this. So it does not, I mean, I'm not holding this like a pen. I'm not holding this like this. So there is nothing special about the grip. You hold it in any way in which it will stay horizontal and they'll be able to hold something in there. Okay. So normally you hold this with these two fingers and you hold this with these three fingers. You hold them in any way. You can keep them like this if you want. Don't hold it like a pen. It's okay. It should just be working. So I'll show you that. If I'm picking up this thing, I should be able to lift it up. Okay. Now even smaller. So let's say this thing. How am I going to eat it? Now it's really difficult to pick them up, but I just wanted to show you the expertise that, you know, over the time you gain the expertise of even picking up a rice grain using this. I'm not saying you should be doing it. Rice has to be eaten with spoon only, but still you can do it. In theory, you can do it. And that's the reason why usually they go with noodles, because they can be lifted up very easily. Rice, usually they won't serve you, but if you ask for a rice, then they will be probably serving you with a spoon. But rest of the things you should be able to pick up with your chopsticks, no matter how small it is. Okay. Now, am I missing something? I think I covered everything. Yeah. How will you keep the chopsticks down? So do not keep them like this. As I told you, it's done during their funerals, so you should never be doing it like that. You either keep it on top of a bowl like this, if you don't want it to touch the table, or it is absolutely okay even if you keep it on the table. There's no problem at all. But what they won't like is keeping it like this or keeping it like this. That they won't like, because you're pointing them towards something. And finally, I'll tell you what is the general notion, especially in the Japanese people. What are they? So normally before eating food in India also, we say that we are very graceful, that we are very grateful to God that we receive the food. In the West also, in the Christian culture also, they usually say the grace. So while saying the grace, they hold each other's hands and they sit around the table. They sit together first of all, just like we also sit together. Chinese people also sit together while eating. and they'll be holding each other's hands, and they'll be saying that, oh God, thank you for bringing food to the table, and bless the hands who made them. Similarly, Southeast Asian cultures also say the same thing. They say it in their own way. There are various ways of saying it. Now, I did not learn that, but there are phrases that they usually use. So those phrases mean enjoy the food, or we are blessed to have this food, things of that sort. So their principle is that every life is important, no matter whether it is plant life or animal life, and you cannot survive without killing somebody, right? So you have to eat food by killing something. Like, for example, this fruit, now it is actually alive while I'm eating it. The seeds, these are the children of that plant. It's live and I'm eating it. So this is equally bad, as bad it is to eat meat, because I have to kill the animal and then eat the animal, right? So I had to kill to eat. So what they think is, you have to do it. It is a thing that you cannot avoid, but the least you can do is enjoy the food. Do not kill something and then waste that food. You killed for eating because you did not have any other way of doing it. So at least enjoy what you're eating. Okay, so many of their phrases that they use while eating, or while starting the meal, or while ending the meal, usually those phrases translate to, we are gracious to have this food, food is great, we are enjoying food, things of that sort. They also try to acknowledge all the efforts that have gone into it, like the cook must have cooked it, or your family member must have cooked it. So their efforts are also appreciated, just like the Christian people also appreciate it. They say grace, they say God bless the hands who made this food. What they're saying is they are complimenting the chef or your family member. So this is what it is all about. And finally, you should never be putting your legs crossed like this. That's very disrespectful in Asian cultures. You should always be keeping your legs together, and especially if you're sitting down, on a Japanese table which is on the floor, then you should keep your feet like this, and they should be pointing backwards, away from the host, not towards the host. Showing your feet to the host is considered very disrespectful. And also, just like the Indian culture, you should always keep your footwear outside the home while entering, and if there is a place to wash your feet before entering. So it is very much similar to the Indian culture. Maybe only the Western people have to learn a little about this, but we already know it, so our culture matches a little more as compared to all the other Asian cultures. So that is all. Do let me know if you have any doubts about it, and until next time, Jai Shri Ram. Thank you so much for seeing the video till the end. It does mean a lot to me. Could you also please see the video description? It has index, link to the study material, and also if I've shown any products in this video, then the purchase links to those products. The comment section is open for your suggestions and also for your doubts. I always answer to the first 100 comments on every single video. If you want to support my work, here's my QR code, or my UPI ID is amit.shirasao@UPI. Until next time, this is Amit signing off. Jai Shri Ram.